19 people have lost their lives on the country's roads this month alone. That's according to the Transport Minister Sindisiwe Chigunga, who released the provisional festive season road statistics a short while ago. And Ziniko Mhlaba was there, and you are still there, Ziniko, on the N3 Villiers Toll Plaza. And the Transport Minister noting that Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal remains provinces of concern.
That's right, to do, Zile, especially when it comes to fatalities and those provinces failing to record any decrease so far compared to what they recorded at this particular time of the year in 2023. Well, KZN, the concern is mostly about what is about to happen in the next few days. As you know, that most travelers will be, busy along the coastal areas. So the major concern is there is the likeliness of the increase in KwaZulu-Natal. But when it comes to Gauteng, it is a matter of what has been recorded already. So the province has not been able to deal decisively towards to the satisfaction of transport authorities. So that's their concern. So we're actually here on the N3, and we see a lot of officials conducting, their traffic responsibilities. They're trying to stop vehicles to check their license disc, but they're also checking whether the motorists do have the driving licenses. You remember that during that press briefing, the minister also spoke about the issue of unroadworthiness of some drivers themselves. So saying that's a new phenomenon, new trend when it comes to drivers who are not even supposed to be on the roads, and that talks to issues who cannot drive. People do not have the necessary driving documents, but also the behavior, saying that one of the drivers along some road, we're trying to make our way safely amongst these traffic officials and vehicles that are being checked. So I was saying that a major concern was the driver who was traveling at about 209 kilometers per hour in Gauteng. So that was their major concern. So the officials are here from the Department of Transport, but also the Department of Transport in Mpumalanga, and of course we do have traffic management authorities as well. So this is one of the gentlemen officials who's looking at the issues of these particular vehicles. However, we can't get closer to the license discs just to protect the identity of the driver itself. So well, let's get some indication from the road traffic management officials themselves in terms of their major concern when it comes to the issues of road safety. Remember that earlier on, during that press conference, we spoke about the issues of fake officials along the road, especially in Gauteng between Albertine and Vereeniging, where a lot of hijackings, robberies by people who are purporting to be officials has been that major concern. But let me bring in now the CEO of Road Traffic Management Authority, Advocate Msibi. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Give us a sense of what have been the major concerns for yourselves at the road traffic management, besides and over and above what the minister shared as an overview, as the people who deal with the actual operations on the road. What are your major concerns?
Well, thank you for having us. The major concern have been consistently the behavior of our road users, both drivers, passengers, and the pedestrians. If you look in terms of our figures and the statistics, the number of pedestrians that have been knocked down reigns supreme. So it then begins to tell you that most of the pedestrians are found on the wrong side. Why? We have now seen the unprecedented increase in relation to the consumption of alcohol, which has resulted in the number of them jaywalking and encroaching the road despite the pavement management. And why are we saying this? If we analyze the figures that we have, you will find that most of the figures are mainly in the residential areas, most built-up areas, be it in the villages, be it in the townships. That's where we have a problem. So the second issue for this festive season is the use of alcohol. We have seen the unprecedented rise of the use of alcohol, as well as the sporadic hours. As the minister was indicating, if you look at the most problematic hours are between 7 o'clock in the evening until 12 midnight, as well as 2 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock. But what has not been common in the past years has been the time of 9 in the morning to 11 o'clock. And which days are those? It happens to be Monday and Tuesday. So therefore it tells you that the festivities have caused a lot of partying with ourselves. The last are the utilization of the parkies. We have seen the high rise of the utilization of the parkies, and the parkies getting involved into accidents. Like the minister was sharing, one parkie had 15 passengers at the back and 6 of them perished. The other one had 10 and it rolled and a number of them also perished. So these are the common phenomena that are dealing with.
I mean, so in terms of fines and the payments of fines, how ready is RMTC in terms of processing those along the roads? I'm talking about expired license deeds and the issue and the type of fines motorists can expect to pay or must pay along the roads.
Well, we have taken a very decisive route this year. If you are driving in terms of the expired driver license disc, we impound the vehicle, because the vehicle for the first instance shouldn't be on the road. If you're driving without the driver's license, we too, instead of issuing a fine, we arrest, because the message we have been delivering the messages for quite too long, begging people to go and renew their driver's license, begging people to go and renew their vehicle licensing. So that vehicle becomes unroadworthy, and the unroadworthy vehicle needs to be impounded. And you have heard the minister talking about the unroadworthy drivers. The unroadworthy drivers are these drivers that have not renewed their driver's licenses. The reason being, if you have infringements, most of the public drivers and ordinary drivers are not paying their fines, so you can't renew the driver's license. You'll find that they still have people whose driver's license has expired in 2017, but is on the road. So what do we do in such an issue? We arrest.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thanks ever so much.
That's Mr. Msibi, the advocate Msibi there, who's given us a sense of how things are looking at. So we are along the entry at Villas in the Free State Province, where the Department of Transport, together with other stakeholders and agencies such as the road management agents, are conducting an oversight and police raid in terms of checking whether all motorists are behaving and have all the necessary documents when it comes to being on the road. So that's the major issue here. But what was concerning is the number of deaths that have been recorded already. Over 700 of deaths have been recorded so far, and we are only halfway through the festive season as we are heading towards the Christmas weekend, the New Year, and of course the early 2 days of 2024. So we'll see how things go. We were informed that the final number and the final picture will get it early next year when it comes to comprehensive statistics, which will give us a sense of whether the Department of Transport and all its agencies have done well in terms of ensuring that people on the roads are safe and are able to decrease the number of fatalities on the road. So that's where we are now. With back to you for now.
Okay. Ziniko Mhlaba, authorities clearly taking the no-nonsense approach, whether it comes to license discs or the actual driver's licenses, as we've just heard. Thank you very much for that report.